One very common question that I get is people come to me sometimes privately, and they think that they're the only person that when they're trying to attempt the problem set, they can't really fully solve it, okay? Or they've gone through the lecture, they've maybe rewatched the lecture, and they still cannot do the problem sets, okay? The one thing they need to understand is that that's completely normal, and there's a lot of people that are in that same position. So think of the problem set as not practicing what you've learned in the lecture, but think of the problem set as additional material, okay? So think of the problem set as additional material or perspective. So when you do the lecture note together with the problem set, that's when you really get a better sense of the material, okay? 2, it is okay if you are not able to solve a question. Okay. Actually, if we swap roles, I probably wouldn't be able to solve all questions, right? Actually, not probably wouldn't. Chances are that if I was in your position when I was an undergraduate student, I will not be able to solve all questions. Okay. I'll give a good attempt to them, but I would not be able to solve all questions because they do require some extra knowledge. Here's what is not okay. It is not okay to not understand the answers. Stand and be able to replicate the answers. So if you looked at a video and something didn't make sense, either it was a step that didn't make sense or it was an explanation that didn't make sense, that's the things that you want to clear up through the classes by coming up with questions and the like. So you really want to grapple with that information and really try and understand them. But as long as you've gone to the lectures, you've done the best of the problem sets, you've come up with questions, you're training through the videos, and by the end of it, you're able to do them on your own, even a few days later, that's really the acid test on how well you're doing on those problem sets. Okay? So don't be intimidated if you cannot find the answers, but be put yourself into a sort of like improvement mode if you can't understand the solutions. Okay, that's going to be problematic, right? If you watch a video and you still can't quite understand it, that's going to be problematic. You'll have to resolve that fairly quickly. And also note that things build up very quickly. Okay, the proofs of the mechanical properties are showing off quite often. We're not going to go over and do them over and over again. Okay, so those are the things that you might want to sort of like keep in mind. So think of the problem sets as additional material. It's okay if you're not able to solve the question. It's not okay if you're not able to understand the question after watching the videos and trying to practice, okay? That's the sort of general approach that I would do to